the God is a Geek podcast, your new favourite podcast about video games, someone called Kylie Jenner giving people bruised lips, R2-D2 being replaced by a ball or something, and Iron Man, Thor, Cap and Hulk getting the band back together once again. I am your host, Colm Ahern, and with me this week is the man of the hour. Too sweet to be sour. What you see is what you get, and what you don't is better yet. He's the women's pick. He's the men's regret. And if you gamble against him, you made a bad bet now. It's Nailz!
Hello.
It's Dan! Nailz!
Oh, fucking hell. Hello, Colm. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm fantastic. I'm delighted to be back, Dan. I am so happy to be back, to be talking to you, my favourite person in the world.
I know, man. I've missed you. We haven't spoken in so long now.
We'll catch up in just a second, because sadly, we do have another person with us. I jest, dear listener, because he did look, I'll drop the facade for a second. He did a stand-up job last week. It's the medical marvel. It's Iron Man, Adam Cook.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Keep going,
Happy birthday, dear Colm. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, lovely. Thank you, Boolabos. Well done. Good boy.
That was for yesterday, by the way.
Yeah. As we're recording this,
yeah.
But yeah, it was my birthday.
Sorry, I didn't call you or send a text or anything yesterday, but
well, I mean, that would have ruined the whole you being on the podcast thing, and you know, it's much better that you did it this way, because I feel whenever I have conversations with anyone, they're pointless unless I'm recording them. You know, you're missing out on valuable entertainment.
Well, it's the fucking oxygen, isn't it? If you're not.
Yeah, exactly. So how is everyone? How are people doing? How have you been over the past week? Adam, how are you? I haven't spoken to you in ages. Are you alright?
We know, yeah, I'm alright, mate. Thanks. Just been busy. You know, I had a massive clear out of my office and threw away just fucking bags and bags of gaming swag that these publishers send us. Just bags of it. I mean, it's disgusting, quite honestly, really.
Would you not give it to maybe a children's hospital or something?
No, I'd rather burn it, to be quite honest. Thousands and thousands of pounds worth. The thing is if I give it to the kids, if I give it to the poor needy kids, there's no way I can sell it on eBay and therefore buy my Ferrari that I used to get from the publishers paying for the games I reviewed, but there just seems to be less money in the industry these days for bribes. I don't know.
Sadly.
I'm fine. I'm good. Thank you. Yourself?
We can think back of fonder times. I'm fantastic. Before I speak about myself, my favourite topic, Nailz, how are you? How have you been?
I'm well. I've not really been up to much interesting, you know, just writing for the site. But yeah. How about yourself, Colm? Because you've been away.
Was that not a dig then? I don't know. Was that intentional?
I've been fantastic. Yes, I was away in Dubai, a lovely part of the world in the country known as United Arab Emirates, and it was a wonderful week of sun, sand, and sangria.
Camels.
Is that what they say? And camels. Yeah, I rode a camel. Woo! I rode a camel.
They're uncomfortable, aren't they?
Yes.
Oh, Dan's a camel rider.
Dan has rode a fair few camels in his time as well, I hear. When I got on top of the camel, at first it was a little bit uncomfortable. There was actually 2 camels there at the time. And when I was on top of the camel, there was actually 2 people. It was myself and a girl I know. The 2 of us were riding the camel at the same time. and there was a camel behind us. And we were riding the camel around in a circle, and that was great. But the camel behind me kept trying to kind of bite and gnaw at my body parts, which was a little bit unnerving, to be honest. But I enjoyed it. Other than camel riding, of course, we went to a water park, which was very enjoyable.
Other than camel riding, did you have much sex?
See, it was good. The subtlety was nice. The subtlety was nice, but you just had to fucking hammer it home, of course.
Which is incidentally what you were probably doing.
We're doing with Camel. Which I went to a water park. That was good crack. What else did I do? We went to a kind of a pool bar, which was there good crack there? Made us feel all glamorous. It was good fun. Dubai is like a fantasy land because everyone has so much money over there. Everything is incredibly expensive, and every car on the road is either a Porsche or a Ferrari of some sort. It's just fucking outlandish, the amount of money over there. It's like the biggest fucking building in the world, or the tallest this and it's just full of that kind of shit.
It's basically the opposite of Ireland, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. It's just completely devoid of culture. There is nothing there. It's something like the population of Dubai, it contains like 10% locals, which is fucking fascinating. People born like and London, raised in Dubai. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, very similar. But that's Dubai in a nutshell. Would I recommend it? If you're fucking minted, because I spent far too much money. But before we move on, I was out of the loop. I tried my hardest to stay away from news of all sorts, because it was just like, no, I'm on holiday. I don't want to know anything entertainment wise, football wise, movie, games. I'm fine. Okay, I just stay away.
I mean, you probably should have gone to the moon then, really.
That would have helped. Like every now and again, I had when I had Wi-Fi, I had no look on the phone. But
was it difficult? Was it difficult in the modern era to go somewhere that's a long way from home and properly switch off and ignore what would be? I mean, the point of a holiday usually is to get away from the mundanity, isn't it? And to go away and just to be away from your normal day-to-day life. But your normal day-to-day life is like checking Twitter, is keeping up on the things you're interested in. So is it hard to just go away these days and just go, nope?
Well, Terry, from a young age, I was always interested. Basically,
Terry.
I didn't get that.
Did you not get that? Okay, have either of you seen The Commitments? No? Alright, it's a great film, you should watch it. It is and it isn't. Do you know, I love when people say that. I'm sure I've said that on this podcast before.
Completely not answer the question.
Exactly, yeah. Do you know, are you cold? I sort of am, but I'm sort of not.
See, I punch those people.
It's
in the face.
Yeah, it's the best place to punch people generally.
You're a very violent man, Adam.
It's Colm. It's.
I bring it out. I bring it out. No, I do.
It brings me out.
I just kind of
brings me out.
I have a feeling this podcast is going to be full of that. Yes, it is. All right, shut up for a second. I'm answering your fucking question.
You weren't.
It is. But at the same time, just don't, like. Do you know, it's like, all right, yeah, as I said, every now and again I'd have a look on Twitter and just see what people are at, and then I would sort of get annoyed with myself, actually, and be like, what are you doing? Stop.
Yeah, stop being your normal self.
Yeah, stop being your normal self. Stop being your normal self and be, Vincenzo from Sicily or something.
I'm on holiday now. I should do everything different. I should bat for the other side now. Dan, if you were on holiday, would you take your mobile with you?
I do, just because in case of emergency it's always useful, but I tend to find, because I don't have like a 3G plan that goes outside of the country, I don't check Twitter and stuff that much when I'm abroad.
Every place is fucking Wi-Fi now, though.
See, that's my worry. My worry is I'm going on holiday in a little bit, and I kind of don't want to take my phone because I know what will happen if I do. Instead of sitting by the pool, just chilling out, listening to music, which I'd probably do on my phone, I'll be sitting there checking Twitter, reading emails, and I feel like I'll come home and think, you stupid idiot, you could have not done all that,
Like, I see what you're saying, but we like games, we like football, or we like wrestling, or we like movies, or we like whatever, we like we like these things, and generally those are the people say we follow on Twitter or shit like that. So you've got it's nice to keep somewhat updated.
Well, I tell you what, I'll make a deal with you then. I'll take my phone, for emergencies, and I'll be normal, but if I go on Twitter and I see some gaming drama, I'm just going to throw it straight in the fucking pool. Is that?
Well, no, because then you're down a phone, and I'm sure you don't really want to be down a phone.
He's minted. He's grand. He
can he's a games writer, of course. He is.
Yeah, I mean, I just sell one of the Ferraris.
Yeah, and you'd probably be able to afford a couple of phones, but you can also afford video games, Adam Cook, can't you?
Can you wait, kids? Keep off that fucking Ferrari. It's worth more than your fucking. Sorry, Colm. What?
I was just saying there before I was rudely interrupted by your brat children.
Well, they weren't my kids. I wouldn't speak to my kids like that.
That you can afford video games also when you're not getting sent them by truckload. I'm not too sure whether you bought this one or whether you got like 15 copies in the post. But Bloodborne,
yeah, it's a video game.
Yeah, it is a video game. It's a video game that you are playing, I believe. You discussed it on last week's show, I want to say, because that was actually one of the few things, in all honesty, that was one of the few things that games-wise, I did consume whilst on holiday, because I wanted to see how badly Adam fucked it up. But yeah, Bloodborne, right? I know from speaking to you and from you being on the podcast and stuff, it's a game that you've sort of wrestled with in your own head. You kind of seem to like it sometimes, and then other times you get pissed off about certain things. Where are you standing right now? You surely must be enjoying it if you're still playing it.
I want to finish it. I really, really want to finish it because I've never finished a Souls game. I've always got really close, and then there comes a point. I think I even said this last week. Actually, I can't remember that. Did I, Dan?
Nothing.
But yeah, there's always a point in a Souls game where I just think, I've had enough. It's got too difficult. Bollock. No, we definitely did talk about it because Dan said the same. He has that in Dark Souls 1 and 2, didn't you?
Oh, yes.
You get about 10 hours in. Well, I'm 25 hours into Bloodborne, and I've had many of those points, but I just feel like this is it. I have to finish this game. But the more I play of it, because today the patch has come out, which has actually reduced the loading times by about 10-15 seconds, added little things when the game loads, like little information panels. But okay. I can't think of a game. Oh, God, fuck it, I'm going to say it. I can't think of a game in a long, long time that has had such an easy ride in the media as this game. I genuinely cannot. Like, caveat, I love this game. I think it's brilliant. I don't think it's the best game in the Souls series. It's just, it's had such an easy ride, man. Like, the
I completely agree.
Bullshit.
When I was talking about it, it was that. It was fucking, if we're talking about technically, there's a lot of fucking problems.
And not just technically, like the load times were bullshit, and it's great they've done that, right? Of course they should patch it, but it also should never have needed patching. A 45-second load time's too much. But more than that, like, when was the game out? A month ago? I think it was a month ago.
Yeah, about that, yeah.
Like, this patch is too late. Like, most of the hardcore, the real core audience of that game that love the Souls games, they finished it once, maybe twice. Some are still, like me, I'm still going because I haven't had the time to just play Bloodborne, and other people are still playing it, but a lot of the people who love this game, love the series, have finished it. And it should have shipped in a better state. Now, Colm, I said last week on the pod, and I'll say it to you now, like, you talked about the frame rate. You've seen nothing. Like, you haven't even seen the areas where it gets bad.
Really?
Yeah, you've not even seen the bad stuff, and to me, again harping on about this, but it's a solo release. It's one platform. It's inexcusable, but it's a really good game. There are some areas in the game that I won't spoil that I just they're bullshit. They're not difficult. They're bullshit. The game decides to change the rules and stack the decks in a way. It's not difficult. To me, that's not difficulty because I don't actually think of the Souls games as hard. I don't think of them as, these games. No, I think of them as almost like puzzles. Like, the thing about the Souls games, and the reason people think they're hard, is, in my opinion, and I can only speak from my opinion, people have no patience anymore. And games don't require patience anymore. So, Bloodborne is a game that says to you, you can't run through this game. You have to learn how to play this game. You have to learn how the enemies strike and how you strike. You have to be patient. Like, there was a boss in Bloodborne that I got to the first time and I killed it, I didn't kill it. I had it down to a sliver of health and it suddenly did this move. It grabbed me and just basically ripped me to pieces. I went back there and I had another go at it, but I was pissed off at the way I was treated there, so I basically tried to rush it and I died 7 or 8 times before that boss, and to the point where I went, right, you know what? That's me for the day. I'm stopping there because I've lost my patience with this game, and because of that, I'm dying over and over. This is a game that requires patience. That doesn't equate to difficulty. It's difficult because it requires patience. And either of you, can you think of a game these days that you would say it really requires you to be patient with it? Because I can't. Gears of War doesn't require patience.
No.
Unless you put it on the highest difficulty, where you've got to, hide behind cover, take pot shots, hide behind cover. That's patience, but generally, just here's a game, play it, that requires patience.
Patience, I suppose. Patience requires some amount of patience.
Yeah. It does.
Like, I suppose more commonly known as solitaire now because of the advent of Windows and stuff like that. Yeah, would you not agree, Adam? No.
I mean, yeah, but I'm talking about like games that we talk about on the podcast.
Electronic video,
like solitaires
computer games.
On
yeah.
Pair Solitaire on iOS is fantastic. But
Spider Solitaire, it's a good one.
Yeah. But Dan, you play a lot of video games. Any games that you think require patience?
I think football games can.
Go on.
I'm very intrigued.
It's that same sort of thing. In when you fall behind, if you try and rush to try and get a goal back, kind of thing, you need to get composed. Like in real football, you need composure and stuff like that, and that comes from patience. If you try and rush anything, you're most likely going to fuck it up.
Fucking slam dunk there.
I do agree with you, but
there's an article in that, lads.
There is. But the thing about like FIFA or PES for me is that you can cater that game to your difficulty. You can sort of go, right, I'm going to play on this difficulty. Bloodborne has none of that. It's just, this is the game. And again, very few games do that. Most games will have an options menu where you select easy, normal, or difficult, and then there's nightmare or whatever. In terms of just like, this is our game, we present our game. And I think because of that, that's a lot of the reason why it gets some of the plaudits. Because it's so unique in that it's almost archaic brought into the modern era. Because games don't do that now. Games are, from the off, they're like, pick easy.
Yeah.
There is no easy, but the difficulty in Bloodborne for me is all over the shop.
I thought of one. Alien Isolation.
Yeah.
That requires patience.
That does require patience, but it's not what you'd call a difficult game, is it? It's a game that is
difficult enough.
But is it not difficult because of the rack? Could you not? You couldn't speedrun that game. Well, I'm sure someone speedrun that game. But the speedruns in Bloodborne and stuff are often glitch based, not Bloodborne, but the Souls games. They're we found this way you can skip an entire 50% of the game through a glitch,
So hang on, like, I'm failing to see why you're still playing it, other than the fact that you kind of out of just determination to
It's
finish.
part determination, it's also part the fact that I've put like 20 to 40 hours into a Souls game every time they've come out and never finished one, and at some point it's like, look, you have to finish one of these things. You have to. You keep pouring a full day of your life into these games. You have to just say, I finished one. And I don't think I'm that far away from the end, because I've done the bullshit area that everyone says is bullshit, where they change the rules of the game. And I think I'm less than 10 hours from completing it, which is, given that I've already put 20, well, it says 25, but it feels like more. Given I put that in it would seem stupid at this point. Now I've done what most consider the hardest area of the game to stop. But
are you enjoying it?
I enjoyed every part of it apart from the area I've just finished, which is genuinely, I honestly thought this game has got 10 out of 10s. It was that bad, this area.
Right,
I really hated it.
It nearly broke you.
I honestly thought it had broke me. I was emailing back and forth with Mick about there has to be another lantern here, and he kept saying, it's just there. I was like, but I've been there. It's not fucking there. Where is it? And eventually it was like right under my nose. I just couldn't see it because of the stress factor that was going on in that section. And after that, it throws a really difficult bit at you again, and it just like keeps kicking you in the balls. But and again, I was like, after all that, this is what I'm rewarded with, like even more difficulty. Okay, so I give it a couple of goes, died, and I was like, this is, and to get past that bit, I almost had to glitch it. It's basically you fight 3 enemies at once, and if you give them a run around for long enough, 2 of them lose interest and 1 of them stays on you, and you can defeat him 1-on-1, and then you go back and you draw the 2 out and you do it again, and you basically draw them 1 at a time. And I found that bit really difficult, but once I drew them 1 at a time, it was easy. And again, it's in the game. It's not cheating the game. I don't know. It's a really good game. I don't think it's the best Souls game. I think Dark Souls 2 is the best Souls game, which no one will agree with me on, but I love Dark Souls 2. I think it's fantastic.
Nailz, is Dragon Age Inquisition fantastic? Does Dragon Age Inquisition not require patience to some degree? It's quite a long game.
It's a long game. I don't know if it requires patience so much. It's very clear. Like, it has got difficulty levels for one thing. So, if it's too hard, you just drop it down one a bit.
Apparently it requires patience to get out of the first area or something, does it?
Well, yeah, we were talking about this bit last week, and I think it was later that day, actually, I think, that I got to the bit where everyone goes, and now the game gets good.
Like, how many hours was that for you?
I don't know, 7 to 10 maybe.
If I say to you the keep.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that is where it all kind of changes, and you can start having you're actually the Inquisitor. Like you can have people come in and you can judge them.
But did you still enjoy those 7 to 10 hours or so?
Oh, I love them. I thought it was very focused and very. Really? And I think part of that is I didn't explore as much as maybe some other people had in the beginning areas.
Why is that? Is it because you knew not to, or just you didn't feel that you wanted to?
I just didn't. I was kind of just following the story a little bit, and that just kind of kept me going. I didn't go too far out of my way because I've since been around the hinterlands, and it's fucking huge.
That's the thing. Did you not find things that just kept drawing you away from the story? Because that's what you've just said. Like in 7 hours, I think I might have finished that game if I'd had that experience. But to me, that was 15 hours before I got to the keep.
Fucking hell!
Right.
But do you see what I mean about it really taking off there, though?
Oh, definitely, and it opens up. I think in some ways it gets, for me, it's almost gotten a little, not worse, but because it's suddenly so open, you need to go into it and think, right, I'm going to do this storyline, I'm going to chase this lead, I'm just going to go off and explore. If you try and go and do something and then get dragged away, you'll never finish any of it.
So are you trying to kind of veer away from side quests and just...
Well, not so much veer away from side quests, but like... I'll maybe go in, I'll sit down to play for an hour and I'll go, right, I'm going to do some side quests, or I'm going to go and follow up this person's lead, or I'm going to go and explore this region kind of thing, rather than, I'm going to go to this area and see just see what happens kind of thing, or go this way and let myself be dragged off. If I see something on the side of the road, unless it's really interesting me, I'll remember it for later and just come back.
Will you finish this? Because I never did. I wish I had, but it's been too long. It was December last time I played it. So
I think I will. I think the only thing that's worrying me at the moment is there's a lot of choices and a lot of people you can bring on board or turn away.
How many party members have you got, Dan? Roughly?
I think I've got them all.
You got the Raging Bull?
Yep. I've got Iron Bull, Cole. So I've got 3 rogues, 3 warriors, and 3 mages. So I've got them all, I think.
Sounds about right.
Yes, and 9.
There's one that's a side quest, I think, in Hinterlands. There's like a big guy. Oh, God, what are they called? He's like some... it doesn't matter. Go on.
Oh, okay, right. Okay, maybe there's more, but I think
I just can't remember his bloody name.
Saying that I've got all the people in a single-player playthrough. But there are agents to get as well that you kind of bring on. And at the moment... I've said yes to everyone so far because I've not seen a disadvantage to...
Why would you not? That was weird to me.
So hang on. What? So the party members, they kind of offer their services and you can say no?
Yeah.
To some of them, not all of them, but yeah. And agents...
Iron Bull's one of them, isn't he?
Well, yeah, Iron Bull's one of them. And it's like, I can't see a reason not to do it because none of them seem particularly evil, for example. So it's like, clearly not going to pick that person because they're going to be a handful.
It's like, he's a mercenary, isn't he? But he's quite clear about the fact that he's a mercenary. But he's like a badass. Like, why wouldn't you take him on your team? Like, you're in charge of him. He does what you tell him.
Yeah, exactly. So unless it kind of, I don't know, some of them maybe start arguing or something like that, and there's a bit more dynamics between them, and by the end, my choices are going to pay off a bit more. I can't really see how the story changes, like a Mass Effect game, for example.
I always feel that video games... Like they fail at that type of choice, that real finality of, do you want to keep this character alive or do you want to kill him? And like for the most part, I would keep them alive, even just to be like, see, like if I kill him, they're out of the story. I want to see how this character progresses and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like, I just don't see the point in why you would. Refuse them.
2 questions for Dan, actually. Like, first of all, do you ever switch characters, or do you just stay as your created character? And second of all, do you ever use what's it called, the non-actiony view? Where you can go
the
top
tactical
down.
type
tactical view.
Yeah. I never use the tactical view.
Nope, me neither.
And I just like controlling my character. I'll switch to someone else if I need to. So to pick a lock or to revive myself if I've died, for example.
See, to me, both of those things that I agree with you, by the way, that's exactly the same for me.
Yeah.
That's a failing of the game. Mm-hmm. Because the fact that you can control any of the 4 characters at will, the fact there's a whole tactic, and I'm sure there are people who do use it, but to me...
I think that's in there for people who like the first game, because that's how the combat in Origins was, I think.
It was, yeah. Well, no, in Dragon Age 1. Dragon Age. And I think Origins had it too, yeah. I think this is more Origins, like 2.
No? Dragon Age 1 is Origins.
Yeah.
I thought Origins was a game released later.
I don't think so.
I'm not the biggest fan of Dragon Age. I mean, I played 2, and I played one of them before that I didn't think was it. At the time, I played on Xbox, and it looked so dated. I just couldn't get into it.
Right.
But yeah, you do see yourself finishing. Is this your first? This is your first Dragon Age?
No, I played Origins a few years ago, but I had it on PC and it didn't run it too well, and I got to a point where I just couldn't. It just wouldn't. It was just slowing down too much for me to play, so I stopped.
Okay.
And I didn't particularly like the story and stuff then, like the world. I don't know why. I just didn't particularly enjoy it. But I'm loving this one. I'm absolutely loving this one.
Is Colm enjoying the world of the Charnel House trilogy?
I was just about to say similar to fucking asshole.
I thought it would be helpful. I was just trying to be helpful.
It's fine. Similar to how I'm feeling about the Charnel House trilogy, actually. I'm quite enjoying that as well. Now, this game isn't long. I just haven't had much time to play video games. So I said, right, I might try and finish this. Sadly, I didn't. But yeah, Adam, you briefly touched on this last week. I think mainly because of the fact that
there's not much you can say without spoiling it, is there? I really like it, but I feel bad that I can't say more about it because I want to tell people you should play it. It's interesting, but I don't.
It's very interesting.
I don't have the words.
Like it's basically it's like, I mean, it's positioned as an adventure game. And it is, but I suppose it's more along the lines of a Walking Dead kind of adventure game because there aren't many puzzles as such. You know, there are minor little things here and there, but it's effectively a narrative that you just kind of and you just kind of go through, really. Like, I'm on the second part of 3, and I think I'm near the end. Sorry, I'm on the third part actually. Yeah, I'm probably about, I don't know, 20 minutes away from finishing it, more or less.
Can you give a vague thing as to where you are so I can tell you?
Someone has... Oh, it's very hard to be vague. Someone has just kind of gone
a bit loopy? Oh, no.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
yeah, you're nearly very, very near the end.
Right. Yeah, so... I'm very much enjoying it.
Big gym's involved.
Yeah, exactly.
Big gym. That's not being
little bit, and it's also not being vague at all. But it's it is a very interesting game, and I'm quite enjoying the kind of weird, because it's also positioned as a horror game, and
it's unsettling at times.
It's more unsettling.
I mean, that you've got to is where it really gets unsettling, I think.
Yeah, it's cool though. I do enjoy it. There's one character though that I think you could squeeze so much more out of in terms of like an acting performance. Yes, Don. I don't know. There's something about his lines that are a bit just delivered. They're a bit flat.
I think that's intentional. I don't know if you've seen stuff yet.
Okay,
I think it's intentionally flat.
Okay, do you know what? We're going to stop talking about it because only the two of us have played it.
And everyone else is listening to going, what are they talking about? This sounds like bullshit.
Exactly. But it's a cool game. Look it up on Steam. But yeah, only two of us have played it, Adam. Like, I mean, why not talk about a game that everyone in the entire world has played, including Nailz? I'm going to guess this is for like the 15th time. Do you know, keeping things current. Pokemon Red?
Yeah.
Okay.
I found my old Game Boy Color on a shelf, still with batteries in it and Pokemon Red in the slot. So I started a new game the other day, and 2 days ago, I've already put 5 hours into it. It holds up surprisingly well, which I was very surprised at, because I tried most recently to play, is it Omega Ruby, the newest one?
Yeah, and Alpha Sapphire.
Yeah, and I hadn't enjoyed it that much. After loving X and, X, I didn't play Y, but you know what I mean. So yeah, it was pretty cool going back to how it went. And obviously it looks a bit dated, but on the whole, it's pretty good. It's less grindy than I remember it being. And
is it? Because I remember it being quite grindy, but at the time really enjoying it because of being young and loving Pokemon. Like, Nailz, were you not a bit young for the Pokemon craze? Or were you...
I was perfect age, I think, for... how old was I when I got this in about 98, I think.
Yeah, so I think that's when they came out.
7.
Right, okay.
6
so
or 7.
You were loving the adventures of Ash, Brock, and Misty, no doubt.
Well, no, I wasn't, because I lived abroad at the time.
Fuck off!
Yeah.
Really?
Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I lived in Belgium for 4 years.
What?
This is just ridiculous now.
No.
Oh, right, okay.
No,
I lived
never.
in Belgium.
Did you meet Eden Hazard? Go on, I'm gonna just rattle off famous Belgians. Marwan Fellaini. That's only
They're just
football.
footballers at the moment, mate.
I can't. That's all I have.
Did you eat a lot of waffles?
Probably. I don't really. Yeah, I think I did.
Okay. Explain.
Well, my dad's company. He worked. No. My dad's company that he offered him a job in Brussels, and him and my mum weren't sure about taking it, and basically went, well, in a year's time, will we regret not having a go? So we moved there for 4 years, from like 97 to 2001. So yeah.
Fucking hell! He's a dark horse, Adam, isn't he?
He just drops this like it's nothing. You guys knew I lived in Brussels,
Belgium,
rather.
So you would have been very young, so would you?
I was 5 when we moved and 9 when we came back.
Oh, can you speak Flemish?
I can't, I'm afraid.
Can you tell the difference between British and American chocolate?
Probably.
Okay. And Belgian chocolate?
Probably not.
Did you get any cool powers or anything over there? Like what?
Powers?
Did you?
What's that based on?
I don't know. Like powers, like the ability to speak the native tongue of Belgian people, of Fellaini and Hazard.
Is it a power?
Like, I don't know. Is there anything? Tell us something cool about Belgium.
I don't know. You put me on the spot here. I don't like this.
They make very nice chocolate.
They make very nice chocolate.
Stop focusing on fucking chocolate, Adam. Tell me other things, Nailz.
I want some chocolate.
There isn't much else. I don't know. It's
just my
chocolate.
word.
Just wall-to-wall chocolate everywhere.
It's very, very flat. How about that?
All right, okay.
Do people
ride bikes everywhere? Is it basically a small Holland?
It's not as many bikes as Holland.
Right.
And the drivers are insane.
Fewer clogs?
Just few, yes, fewer clogs.
What's the volume of prostitutes like in Belgium?
How many can you fit in a windmill?
5, Colm.
Yeah. So what was the volume of prostitutes in the windmills?
I don't have a clue. I honestly don't. Oh, I don't like the way this has gone. We were talking about Pokemon.
You're enjoying Pokemon.
I'm enjoying Pokemon. I didn't watch the cartoon. Well, I did watch the cartoon as a kid, but it was in Flemish, so I couldn't understand it. So I just looked at the pretty colours. That was it. That's where this was going.
Brilliant. Well, speaking of prostitutes, I've been playing a game called Silly Sausage in Meatland.
Is this something about your holiday in Dubai again? Dubai? It's a new place. Yep. There's a cracking joke as well that I just totally fucked up.
Because of the fact that I was in a different country and didn't have access to either my PC or my peasant consoles, I had my iPad and I said, look, I fucking download a few games. I didn't get to play all of them. I got to play 2, one of them being Silly Sausage in Meatland, which
with a title like that, Colm, I'm surprised you hadn't already played it. What a discovery that was.
Well, what I did beforehand, I kind of looked up, because I was always the martyr for iOS games, always, and I suppose pretentious indie games as well. And I feel like over time I haven't been championing the mobile space as much as I should have been. Now, part of that is because I don't know. I feel like the real, standout mobile games, they're not as frequent as they once were in years gone by. So I looked up, highest rated Metacritic iOS games in 2015.
I'll tell you what, you know how to plan for a holiday, mate. This is rock and fucking roll.
Silly Sausage in Meatland was one of them. Why, I'm not too sure, because Silly Sausage in Meatland is fucking shit enough. It's basically, you play as a sausage dog, right? Stay with me. You play as a sausage dog, and you swipe up, down, left, right, and the sausage dog will grow. So the sausage will grow. I'll try and fit in a few innuendos throughout this. The sausage will grow when you swipe up, down, left, or right, and it's sort of like Snake in that. So the sausage grows around, and you can hit the sausage, but nothing fucking happens. You don't get. There's no penalty for basically, sticking your head up your arse.
Disgusting.
What's the aim of the game?
You must go around collecting gems.
Right, okay.
And it's like, so it's not on your one screen like Snake. I suppose you have little obstacles along the way and shit like that. And there are checkpoints along the way too. And when you get to a checkpoint, basically, the game says, yeah, congratulations, if you die, which I suppose, yeah, you can die because there are spikes and shit. But yeah, it's like, when you die, you'll restart here. But to fucking continue the game, they basically say, do you want to give us 5 gems and you can continue the game, no problem?
Disgusting.
Or do you want to watch an advert? So, and these ads, they can be up to like, I think the longest was a minute. And it's fucking it's basically like, War Dragons, where epic adventures in the blah blah blah. Download this now and download Monster fucking Factory Adventure, where, hey, there's Dracula and he's having the crack. And it's all that bullshit.
Was there a Game of War advert on that at all? I mean, I
don't think there was Game of War, but...
You know that game, though. You've seen the advert, right? I mean, because at least then, while you were abroad, you could have had 50 off the wrist quickly to watch that advert.
Very true, very true. Yeah,
Is there something I'm missing about...
Have you not seen the Game of War?
Sexually abroad? No, you just keep making comments about it. Camels and prostitutes. And I'm confused.
Hang on, the prostitutes are in Belgium, Nailz. And I don't... Take your mind out of the gutter. I rode an actual camel. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we know you did.
So Silly Sausage and Meatland, yeah, whatever.
What noise does a camel make?
Many noises, depending on...
Did have one or two humps?
Depending on how you treat the camel.
One or two?
Humps.
Oh.
So another game I played on my iPad was Adventures of Poco Eco Lost Sounds. Now this is I thought brilliant, because this sounds like the most pretentious fucking thing I've played in quite a while. So let's fucking do this, and it is incredibly pretentious, because you start off as this weird. He's like a mix between the Journey fella and also a cat, and it's kind of a bit strange. And basically, you find a tape, a cassette for our younger listeners, of a music tape that fucking people used to make, and they. Do you remember? Maybe Nailz, you might be a little bit too young. I caught the kind of tail end of this, well, for a couple of years really, where you'd be taping songs off the radio, hovering over the play and the record button and pressing both at the same time, and then stopping it just so you wouldn't get that DJ talking at the end and saying, that was extreme, or whatever, that was Mr. Big, oh, what a great hit. Like, basically, you find a mixtape. I don't know if it's a mixtape.
Remember the last time I did that? I can actually tell you the year.
Go on, do tell.
1998. Oasis's "Be Here Now" was released.
That does sound about right.
And they played 3 tracks on the radio, and I wanted to record them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I did.
Exactly. Yeah. Simpler times. But yeah,
Better times.
This Adventures of Poco Eco. Basically, you're this little guy, and you walk around the place. You found a tape, and you must somehow, I don't know, find the god of the tape. It's pretentious bullshit. And you must walk around the world, and you must stand on buttons to bring up platforms and stuff like that. It was a nice little relaxing thing, because the music is actually quite good. There's not an awful lot of challenge to it, but it was quite nice, It was nice relaxing by the pool and having a fiddle with my Poco Eco. So it was quite nice. Yeah, it was lovely. Adam, I can't think of a segue, because I don't know.
It's difficult.
I don't know what this is really. Do you know what? Fuck it. So mixtapes, like sometimes we'd be taping things off the radio, and you might
I wouldn't.
Shut up. I'm gonna do it. You might be like listening to certain songs and stuff, and
please.
Nailz is intrigued to see where I'm going with this, and it might be classic hits on a Friday night, and you might be listening to things, and you go, "Hang on, is that Glenn Frey and Don? I can't think of his name. What's the other guy's name? Don.
Don't know what you're talking about, mate.
You do, Don." Christ, I can't think of his... Anyway, you're listening, and then, oh God, is that the Eagles? The Eagles are on the... Desperado. I fucking love this song. Oh, that's brilliant. Adam, you've been playing a game that has a similar title to the Eagles hit, Desperado. It's called Westerado. What is it?
Adam, you asked me to stop him there. I'm going to say I'm not going to try and stop him, because one day I'm hoping he does one so bad that you fire him and let me take over.
I think that day's long. That's long overdue, isn't it? I mean, that was like watching a one-armed man trying to put on a pair of pants, wasn't it? Westerado double-barreled is... Dan, like, Colm probably won't care about this, but Dan, you need to hold on to your pants. That's how you do it. I mean, it wasn't difficult. It was mildly offensive, admittedly. But Dan, you will love this because, right, imagine, like, so Legend of Zelda, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you say you sit as a fan of that series?
About a 2.
That's that fact then. Oh, we're just going to straight up lie now on the podcast. Fair enough, that's fine.
Oh, brilliant.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Colm, where would you say you sit? A 1?
Well, if Nailz is a 2, 1.5 maybe.
I mean, I deserve this. Well, basically, Westerado double-barreled is if you took the Zelda series and replaced Hyrule as a place, because obviously you guys aren't fans, Hyrule is the place that Zelda games are set most often.
Okay.
So you took that place and you switched out for the Wild West, which is...
the Wiki Wild West?
Yep, kind of. Well, not the Will Smith version, no.
So is Will Smith the protagonist?
Yeah, I mean, he's had a skin transplant, but he's there. Double-barreled, so yeah, Westerado is that, and with Link now a badass cowboy who has just had his family slaughtered, and that's Westerado double-barreled. It's a Zelda game, but set in the Wild West with a cowboy protagonist. And instead of... It's fucking brilliant so far. So you go around these towns trying to find who killed your family, who burned your barn down, sort of thing. And when you're having conversations with... So the one example I'll use, right, there's those little side quests, like, like a lot of these games you can run around talking to people and they'll be like, oh, can you do this for me? There's a woman who says, my husband keeps getting drunk, I need you to bring him home. So you go into the bar, you talk to him, and he says, no, I'm not coming home, basically. Now, in every conversation, right, every single conversation in this game, there is, the conversation wheel where you can pick things to do, but also you can press left bumper to pull your gun out. So this guy is giving it all the old, blah, 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 no, I'm not coming home. Left bumper, oh, okay, mister, I'll come home. And you lead him home, and that's like, quest fulfilled.
Huh.
But you can also kill him and anyone else, including main people in the game who are definitely essential to the plot. So you can go into the sheriff's and he's talking to you and he's like, it's fucking bizarre because it's quite a funny, silly game in that respect, and then it suddenly goes dark. So you've already met his wife and she's like the local, I think, the tavern owner, and you're talking to him and he's like, oh, mister, I can't really help you, that's a bit too much for me, but I can tell you who can help you. You can pull your gun on him just because why not? And he basically starts going, oh God, yeah, well, you might as well just shoot me anyway. I've got nothing to live for. My wife keeps playing around on me. Just end it if you want. You're like, fuck. So press right bumper and you shoot him. And then the whole town comes. And then when you leave the building, the whole town are like, it's a massive gunfight because you just killed the sheriff.
So the game continues even if you kill...
Yep. There's another one where like your son, your brother and your mother are killed at the start. And you go off and like just as your brother's, because you have to kill your brother at the start of the game because he's in pain, and you're like, I can't do it. And I tried to not kill him, but you have to kill him. And he says, go and see your uncle, he'll help you. So you can go to your uncle and you can kill him. Like, you're having a chat with him, you can just pull the gun and kill him, and he comes back as a ghost.
Oh, that's fucking brilliant.
It's just superb. I haven't played enough of it to say if it continues in that vein, but the combat's really cool as well. So you just run around and like you'll get to these like Desperado kind of looking guys, and they're like, one step closer, mate. And so you stand there and they won't shoot you, but I thought, nah, go. So you go forward, they all pull guns on you, so you press left bumper to pull your gun, you aim basically left or right or at them, and you hold right, and you're 6-shooter, so you shoot 6 bullets, and you have to press left trigger like 1, 2, 3, you're pumping it back trying to dodge getting shot. And there's this weird thing about hats, like your hat's your health, so if you get shot, your hat goes off and you've got no hat, you get shot again, you're dead. And they're the same, it's like their health bar. It's I'd never heard of it. It was just a code we got sent, and I thought, let's have a look at this. And it's really good. It's the kind of game that if it was on PlayStation Vita and PS4 and all that stuff, it would be getting rave reviews and everyone would be talking about it because it's Zelda but in the Wild West with utterly ridiculous... Like, I just cleared out a graveyard full of Desperados so that a girl could go and visit her dad's grave and all that. And it's just
And could you then, if you wanted to, then kill her while she's grieving?
Do you know, I think I probably could. I never thought of that. Obviously, I wouldn't think of that. But
I'm a horrible human being.
To be honest with you, this all came about because I wanted to play some more Mortal Kombat X online, but that game seems completely broken. Like, I can't find a match online on PS4. I spoke to Mikhail on staff, who's in a different region to me, because, it's different. It's region locked on PS4, that game. He can't get a game. 5 minutes he's having to wait for the matchmaking to find a game. So I thought, let's play Westerado, and I'm really pleased I did.
What's this on?
PC. It's a Steam game.
When's it out?
It's out. I think it's out now.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it came out very recently, or is just out. It's really cool. Like, it just taking me by surprise. It's kind of a pixel arty style game. It's a Zelda, old style Zelda, I should say, like a top down Zelda. I just love the fact you can whip your gun out at people just randomly in a conversation. It just seems really cool. And the other thing about it I really liked is that you don't know who killed your family at the start, apart from he wore a hat. So the next thing you find out is, I can't tell you much more, but I know he was wearing blue. So if you go into the menu and look at your diary, there's a picture that keeps changing of who this killer is you're searching for, and there's like 4 different shades of blue.
Very similar to Guess Who?
A little bit. It's just a picture of a person, so you know he's wearing a hat, but that's glitching around the place, you don't know what colour it is. The body of him is blue, but it's like 4 different blues. It keeps flashing, and before that it was all sorts. It's a super interesting game that just appears to have come from nowhere and is really cool.
Calvin's Movie Minutes. As I haven't been playing many video games, lads, the fucking plane. Wait till I tell you about the plane. When was the last time you went on a massive fucking plane?
I've never been on a massive plane. I haven't been on a plane for 7 years.
A three, 3 aisles or whatever, 3 rows of seats.
Don't think I've ever been one.
I think I was on one like fucking years ago when I went to America.
Well, you've got your own private one.
That's true, yeah. Being a games journalist, it kind of helps. Basically, right, got on the plane. There's a slot to charge your phone, a USB thing, which again, straight away, that's fucking cool. And there's a kind of a little tablet in front of you where, because before, back in the day, it would basically be, right, we are showing Miss Congeniality and whatever. I don't know.
Entertain yourself. Mile High Club. Go on, knock yourself out.
Here's like, you have 2 films or something to watch. There you go. In this, the amount of fucking films is ridiculous. You could watch all of the Lord of the Rings if you wanted, all of the Marvels.
How long were you in the air for?
It was a fucking long flight. It was about 8 hours. Yeah, it was a long flight, and that's with a 3-hour bus journey as well. It was fucking a lot of travelling. Wasn't very nice.
So you could have watched 2 of the Lord of the Rings films.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're pushing it a bit.
So like over and back, I said fuck it, let's watch a couple of films. Do you know? Let's try and stay current. And I watched. Well, one of them was a bit of an old film. Have either of you seen or heard of Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal?
I think I've heard of it. I've not seen it.
It's a fucking cracker. I'd highly recommend it. I don't want to give too much away. It's been compared to Drive in some ways because it kind of has that a sort of kind of a similar-ish vibe in that the character is like Jake Gyllenhaal is just a bit of a mentler. And it's so good. He gets involved with filming news. And just highly recommend it. It's fantastic. I also watched 71, which is a film set in Northern Ireland in 1971, where an English soldier gets kind of lost from his crew, and he kind of gets mixed up in the hassle between the Protestants and the Catholics. Fucking brilliant film. Excellent show. What else did I see? I saw Birdman. Nailz. I'm
what is that about?
So Birdman is quite meta because it's basically Michael Keaton is playing somewhat of an actor. I guess was an actor who is a bit kind of down on his luck a little bit, and he's putting on a play that it's kind of his last hurrah. He's kind of using this to be treated as a kind of a serious actor as well, because in, I don't know, about 20 or so years ago, he played a superhero who is called Birdman, and that's all he's known as now. He's known as the guy who played Birdman, do you know, sort of art imitating life with Batman and stuff like that. Birdman is a fucking, even with, because it's slightly gimmicky in that it has the whole one continuous shot thing. But I suppose it might sound gimmicky, but it works so well. Edward Norton is in it too, and he is fucking sublime. Emma Stone, it's a great show. Really recommend that. I watched The Babadook, which is, again, I'm not a major fan of horrors, but this is, I like your more intelligent horrors, and there's a part in this film where it slightly goes a bit fantastical, and I kind of go, is this going to be like a shitty slasher bollocks? But no, it's really good, The Babadook. What else did I watch? I don't know. I watched some films. So I hope, Calvin, I'm keeping his memory alive. Did you watch anything lately, lads?
I haven't.
Adam?
No,
Dan?
not at all.
Adam?
No.
Did you watch
No, I mean, still haven't seen the first 2 episodes of Game of Thrones yet. I watch Community every week, but do you know what? I would quite like to see Avengers. I don't care what reviews say, but I saw a little bit of a feature on it on a TV show this morning, and do you know, I really would quite like to go and see that.
Are you up to date on him?
How do you mean?
Like, have you seen all the others?
No. What? All of the other one?
The other Marvel films, like the second Captain American film.
No, I've seen all of them apart from Thor 2 and Captain America 2. Do I need to? Surely not. Fuck off. That's bullshit. How is that
bullshit?
I was going to say, I haven't seen either of the Thor films or the second Captain America.
The first Thor film is fantastic.
Yeah, but it has no bearing on...
The second, they can stand alone, but... you probably don't have to. You're still probably going to enjoy it. But it's, I suppose it's like, jumping into a game, in like third in the series, or, some sort of thing like that, and maybe it can be a self-contained story, but you might enjoy certain things. What's happening?
Oh. I thought you were actually going to pull it off. Dan, I can't be the only one who thought he was going to segue there into...
I thought he was segueing there.
No, I was actually talking. But shit, that was a great segue, to be honest. Films, Star Wars, Dan. This week's talking point is all on Star Wars. Tell me, what's going on in Star Wars land?
So, obviously, they've got a new trailer out for The Force Awakens. Hopefully you've all seen that, because it's pretty damn good. I was trying to avoid it till I don't want to see anything until the film. But Sarah, my lovely fiancée, decided that me trying to avoid it for 6 months would drive her insane. So anyway, we watched it. But the more important news is Star Wars Battlefront has got not more important perhaps, but from a gaming point of view, Star Wars Battlefront, the new one made by DICE, has got a new trailer out, and a load of details have come crashing out about it as well. It's in-engine footage, not in-game. That's subtle difference.
It's not even close to in-game.
No.
It's
an impressive trailer, though.
It is an impressive trailer.
It's a great trailer.
It shows some of the... some of the combats. He starts on Endor, and it moves to there's a bit on Hoth, there's a little bit on what looks like Tatooine, and it shows so you've got all the standard ground combat and things like this, and some aerial stuff. There's no space battles, unfortunately, this time round, which were quite popular for number 2. Have you guys played the previous ones in the series?
Nope.
No, I haven't either. I'm completely the wrong person.
Really?
So I have never consumed anything Star Wars.
I will say that I think they've acted like a set of cunts on this one, but there you go.
Why?
Do tell why.
So your big reveal is a fucking trailer, but you're showing select media 5 minutes, showing select media 5 minutes of in actual footage of the game behind closed doors. Fuck off. Fuck right off. Show us some fucking gameplay. That pissed me right off. Not from the angle of, Quality Geek wasn't invited. I couldn't give a flying fuck. I'm sorry. That trailer was great. It was a great hype trailer, but that's all it was. If you've got gameplay to show us, and you're showing it to certain people, no, I'm sorry. That really wound me up. I think that's bullshit. That's the highest level of bullshit as well.
I thought you weren't overly excited for Battlefront, no?
I couldn't care less about Battlefront, but I think if they've got gameplay footage to show, they should show it to everyone. Because everyone wants to talk about it. Everyone wants to write about it. It was Star Wars Celebration Day.
Yeah.
You didn't have J.J. Abrams come out and show you, hang on, this isn't actually from the actual film, but get your cocks out and start beating them. I was just going to say, because, so gameplay still hasn't come out, but it's, relatively close to the release date
As in, like, I mean, it's the middle of November, but
are we seriously not past not showing gameplay? I mean, Deus Ex suggests that perhaps we aren't. Are we seriously still showing hype trailers?
But most things start with a hype trailer.
But that's a reveal trailer. And I get that that's... I mean, with all the stuff that people have talked... You remember the leaks about, the supposed leaks on this game that apparently weren't, because I think they showed space battles, which is not in the game. And again, I don't actually care about any of that.
There's I believe, Nailz, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you can get into the jets. I apologise, I have no idea what the fuck they're called.
The X-Wings and stuff. You just can't go into the atmosphere.
X-Wings, yeah. Exactly, yeah. You can get into them and you can, like, drive around on the map a la Battlefield, but you can't, like, shoot up into the air.
No.
As far as the eye can see. Is that a major issue?
Not really. The first Battlefront didn't have space battles, and we didn't miss them at the time. In Battlefront 2, they didn't work great because the AI for them was a bit patchy anyway. With people, it was much better. So it may just be dodging a bullet. Plus, I imagine it's quite different to make in compared to, like, just a land battle.
What other? Because I know there was kind of an info dump and stuff. What else was announced?
Well, it's going to have up to 40 players, and it's not going to have a campaign mode. Instead, it's going to have crafted missions, whatever they are.
We don't know what a crafted mission is.
No, people are suggesting they're like...
It's an objective-based multiplayer map. That's what that is, isn't it? Come on, they've given it a push.
People are suggesting it's maybe like COD Spec Ops type missions.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's going to be...
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
But they can be playable offline, either on your own or on split screen, which is quite a nice touch, because I was a bit worried there'd be no offline at all, because that's how I enjoyed the first two games so much. But then obviously it's going to have a wealth of online modes from the sound of it.
There's apparently a good number of maps as well, is there?
I think I don't know if they've announced how many maps there's going to be. So all the maps are being taken from the original, all the battles are being taken from the original trilogy. So there's no prequel stuff, and there'll be nothing from the new film when it comes out. When it comes out.
DLC.
2 weeks before the films come out, they're going to launch the Battle of Jakku.
But that's free, isn't it?
That's free, and that's basically set straight after the sixth film, at a location where a lot... So, I don't know if you've seen the new trailer, but you'll see a crashed Star Destroyer in the desert, and basically that planet is Jakku, and basically we find out how that Star Destroyer crashed into the desert and things like that in this DLC. But I imagine further down the line we'll get DLC for the new film.
Right. So, Nailz, you were the most, like, excited... I suppose yourself and Stubbs here on the team are the most excited about Star Wars Battlefront. Did any of this news upset you? Like even the lack of a campaign?
I wasn't bothered about the lack of campaign, because the campaign in the Battlefront 2 I didn't particularly think was great anyway. I hope they've got something like Galactic Conquest, which was kind of added a strategy layer. So you've got an army and you basically go around the galaxy conquering it all, kind of like Risk, but where you play out each battle on the ground. So I hope it's got something like that, and obviously they haven't announced it, so it perhaps doesn't. But other than that, I think I'm still optimistic for it.
But there's more come out since, hasn't there? There's more news come out. I don't. I mean, look, earlier on, I'm playing it up for the radio, so to speak. But I do kind of feel like what they did was the same as if Abrams had come out and said, "And here's a still image of Han Solo." I'm over-egging it a little bit, but that is how it felt to me. Like it feels almost
like I've no issue with a hype trailer. A well-done hype trailer is very, very good, but it's like intersperse it with gameplay. Yep.
But apparently, also, it's come out that the AT-ATs are on rails as well. Dan, is that correct?
Oh, I haven't heard that.
Yeah, if you guys just talk for a minute, I'll find the quote.
Okay, Dan, explain to me, what is an AT-AT?
So that's the big walkers you see, the four-legged walkers you see on the in the trailers. And basically, in previous Battlefront games, because they've been in both of them so far, you could just use them like a normal vehicle. They're very, very slow, but you could just take them anywhere.
Okay, so in a recent conversation with a fan on Reddit, Dice the Biking Viking was asked, with all due respect, are you seriously saying that level of foliage is going to be running on our PS4s in 2015? And to this he explained, buckle up, lads, this is a fairly long quote.
Right.
I don't like making hard guarantees. The game hasn't shipped yet. We're not done with it yet, but this is how it looks right now on PS4 as well. Yes, I do want to make a very specific comment. While some people have called bullshots, others have said this is not that different, e.g. from Battlefield 4, and not that impressive, which is an interesting mix. What impresses me most is visually about this game is not technical advancements, but instead the attention to detail. You can give two people or two teams the same tools and have very different quality being produced. You have a group of very talented people here. Hang on, blah, 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 blah. When you look at the vehicles, the guns, the character models, and not least the environments, you will see so much attention to detail, carefully replicating the famous universe of Star Wars. That's the true beauty. So it didn't go down very well. And so someone fired back another question. Do you really think making AT-ATs walk on a rail is considered quality over quantity, LMFAO? And he explained, that's 100% a game design decision, nothing else. I won't go into details. I didn't make that decision, but just remember that full freedom doesn't always equal fun.
Right.
Which is basically a confirmation that AT-ATs are on rails.
Okay, that's a bit shit.
Which suggests they will, I would guess, walk round the environment in a set path that you can then interact with, get in, get on, get around. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Is everyone still excited? See, again, I have no. I don't care either way. But like, are you still excited, Nailz?
I am still excited. I'll definitely get in this day one, to be honest. Because I've been waiting for this since the last one came out in 2005 or whenever it was.
I think a lot of people are.
Yeah, you sound less so.
It's not really my kind of game. And I like shooters, but I'm not really the online only shooter guy. You know, Titanfall I really enjoyed, but
you wanted did you want a bridge between Episode 6 and Episode 7? Some sort of nice
I'm
kind
not
of solo
enough of a
campaign?
Star Wars fan to care that deeply. I like the films, and I'm really looking forward to the new one. But to be honest, I'm sure they'll make a good game because I think they have to. My only concern really is that it's out quite soon, and with all due respect to them, EA will have said the game needs to ship by this date because it needs to coincide with the movie release, because that's how we capitalise on the biggest market and make the most money. And again, with the biggest respect in the world, because I do like Battlefield as a series and I do like DICE, I loved Mirror's Edge, I'm not sure telling them you must ship by X is... It's a concern, quite honestly, because Battlefield 3 is not that old. Sorry, 4 is not that old that it's out of people's memories, and I don't know is the answer. I'm sure they'll be. They can't make a bad game, surely.
And there's too much riding on it. You know, this is their
but
first.
Then saying that, won't it just sell millions anyway?
Well, yes, but I think it needs to be well received because that'll get it the extra boost.
And there will be a Battlefront 2.
Well, I think the timing's shit as well, because I mean that's basically Call of Duty, Halo, and Battlefront all within a short period of one another, and like that means people will have to pick. And Battlefront's an amazing Star Wars thing.
If it wasn't Battlefront, it would have just been another Battlefield, wouldn't it? Or
but
Medal
it can't
of
because they've just released one.
Well,
Medal of Honor, no, that's dead. That's dead.
They would have got something out for this time frame. For that time frame to go up against COD, they would have got something out. Yeah,
definitely.
Because I don't agree.
They may not even have delayed Hardline.
That's what I mean. I think that
they may have just pushed Hardline
back.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, what, to this November?
To this one, yeah, they would have had a Battlefield to go. But then that said, it's not a main Battlefield; it's a different developer. I don't know. It's weird. I have confidence that they will make a good game. I just don't have 100% confidence that it will be as good as it will be after a month or two of it being out. If that makes sense.
You were almost a Jill sandwich.
Metal Gear.
It's me, Mario.
Do a barrel roll.
Oh, this is space. I'm in space.
Hail to the king, baby.
Lads, first of all, right, I want to clarify one thing. Adam, the spoils, right? The spoils are bragging rights.
Yeah, but, right. Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay, so now I have to do my little spiel here, basically. So for people that don't know, Guess Who is where I give 5 clues to the identity of a video game character, and you, in this case, Adam and Nailz, must guess correctly. Now when you think you have an answer, shout out your name and tell me what you're thinking, but lads, be careful as you only have 3 guesses. To the victor go with the spoils. And also, right, I should have clarified, I should have let you know this week, or last week, excuse me, Adam, because the previous week we had a bit of controversy. I'm not sure if you were aware. But there was on the last show I was on, there was a bit of controversy.
Yeah, Calvin cheated.
As Calvin cheated. So
yeah,
I have to clarify, no looking up the answer. And if you do, be smart about it. Don't fucking tell me.
I think it's super well, no, you see, I have to say I'm a little bit on Cal's side because I think the honesty is the best policy. And I think he was honest. He could have lied to you and just said, no, I didn't. You couldn't have proved him wrong.
Yeah,
well, you could. You could hear him typing, actually. But
he was very honest. But at the same time, like, the points were revoked and actually presented to Nailz.
Have we got a table then somewhere?
I'd love it if someone had it. If somebody was fucking clever enough to start a table when we started doing this. But anyway, look, let's get on to clue number 1. I first appeared in a video game in 2003.
Can I just stop a sec?
Oh, for fuck's
sake.
Yes,
Dan,
yes.
Dan, you're not going to cheat, are you?
No, of course
You
I'm
wouldn't
not
do
going to
that.
cheat.
Okay, hang on, I will.
What do you take me for?
No, I just.
How dare you blemish my honour, cook?
I don't want to make this out to be more than it is, but I would never have expected Cal to just. I mean, I'm not being funny, but you could hear his keys clicking away, and I've got a mechanical keyboard, so there's no chance I can do it, and I'm not using my phone because I hate using my phone.
All right, okay, can I continue?
Sorry, yeah,
okay.
I just wanted to make sure.
I first appeared... apologies, listener, for the rude interruption.
Yeah, I apologise.
Clue number 1. I first appeared in a video game in 2003. Clue number 2. The series I'm associated with received 2 sequels in 2005 and 2012. And I have also made...
Is it Marcus Cole? No.
Who?
No.
No, that... No, not...
yeah, that isn't a person.
Yeah, no, I meant the Phoenix, the lead guy from Gears of War.
I'm with you. No,
that's who I meant.
I have also
Fuck off! I've never owned an Xbox.
I have also made appearances in comic books and a novel. Clue number 3: whilst I can be either male or female, canonically I am seen as male.
Dan, is it? What's his tits? Commander Shepard.
Pardon?
No.
Oh.
Well, that's a great guess.
That's 2 guesses now, Nailz.
That's 2 guesses. I know, but I'm silent most of the time.
I implore you, use your guesses. Adam, being tactical.
I just ain't got a fucking clue.
Clue number 4. The series I am in was set in the expanded universe of a much larger movie franchise. Clue number 5. Since the release of these games, everything has been retconned, which means I guess I'm effectively up there with Han Solo fan fiction now. You're going to have to say your name if you've a guess.
Adam?
Yes?
Batman?
No.
Okay.
Alright, I'll run through it again. Clue number 1, I first appeared in a video game in 2003. Clue number 2, the series I'm associated with received 2 sequels, 2005 and 2012 respectively, which I am also in, and I have also made appearances in comic books and a novel. Clue number 3, whilst I can be either male or female, canonically I am seen as male. Clue number 4, the series I am in was set in the expanded universe of a much larger movie franchise. And clue number 5, since the release of these games, everything has been retconned, which means I guess I'm effectively up there with Han Solo fan fiction now.
Yeah, I mean, I think we both get that it's something to do with Star Wars, but...
Am I going to have to give the answer?
Can you not? Is it not an extra clue or something? I mean, Dan?
I'm in Star Wars games. Clue number 6.
I can't think of a Star Wars game that was out in 2005 and got 2 sequels.
Adam.
No,
Yoda?
It was out in 2003 and got 2 sequels.
Oh, that was close enough.
I think I know who this is, but I have no idea what the name of them.
And I'll give you clue number 7. The second sequel in 2012 is it's kind of.
It's the Force Unleashed games, isn't it?
No.
Oh, well,
that only had 2, and you couldn't be male or female.
Yeah. This is technically, I'm going by Wikipedia. The third game is a sequel, but maybe that might be throwing you off.
Dan, what's the name of the bounty hunter?
No, it's not Jango Fett.
Okay.
Or Boba Fett. It's not either of them. Because again, it's not that.
Okay, he's not in the films.
Yeah.
Oh well, that really helps. Okay.
What pissing Star Wars games have there been in 2003, 2005, and 2012?
To be honest, I really catered this towards you, Nailz. I thought you'd be all over this.
That seems absolutely fair.
I'm going to kick myself probably at the end of this.
Is there no other clue you can give us?
Oh, Jesus. I don't know. See, because I know very little about these games. Oh, Jesus. He has it.
I know which game it's from now. I've just realised what game it's from, but that doesn't help at all.
Because you looked it up.
I know, no. It's because Calvin bought it for me.
Is it... No, crap. I don't know what the name is.
No, I haven't got a clue what the name is.
Dan, is it Revan?
Oh, yes!
I think the points should be split there, because I think I helped him.
Pulled it out of the bag. Well done. All the points go to Nailz. Well done. Yeah, I first appeared in the video game in 2003.
Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah. The series I'm associated with received 2 sequels, KOTOR 2 and The Old Republic, which is technically a sequel. That's what Wikipedia tells me. And I'm also made appearances in comic books and a novel. And then I got this off Wikipedia. Whilst I can be either male or female, canonically I am seen as male. Could you not choose your sex in the second one?
Yeah, well,
you probably could, but I think it probably means in like the novels and the comics.
I feel there should be a student's inquiry. I'm pretty sure The Old Republic isn't a sequel to the Knights of the Old Republic. I think it's a completely separate thing, but
I think it may have been. I must admit, I would not have got that had Adam not suddenly gone, oh, I know what game it is. I don't know why that triggered it, but...
Well,
it was really enjoyable to hear your mind kind of ticking over and trying to kind of pull it. Yeah,
because dead air is the best kind of air.
Let's get on to listener questions, because lads, we have some people who have questions, and by Christ, we have answers. Our first question is from Vicky at _VIXX, and she asked us the best in-game snog.
Oh, I read that as song.
Well, that's your research done, mate.
Right, I'm going to
tell us what your best in-game song is anyway.
Yeah.
It's the end of Saints Row 3, and when I need a hero.
Yes.
Song, and you're driving and it's sequenced. You're rescuing the people. It's so well done.
I really hope that that's an homage to Short Circuit 2, because it's kind of similar. There's boats involved and stuff like that, and that song plays. What an absolutely fantastic part of the game, of any game. But then, do you have a best in-game snog? An old kissy, a smooch, a peck, anything?
Not really. They're all so unrealistic.
Adam, I know you've probably used in-game snogs as material at times, so surely you have a favourite.
I mean, I actually had to think. I couldn't think of many. I mean, there's Heavy Rain, but that's. I think that scene gets. I think that gets a lot worse press than it really is.
I think it's fucking atrocious.
Mass Effect.
Yeah,
I suppose. But
Mass Effect comes to mind.
I think my favourite. That's the weird word to use. The best in-game snog for me would be Final Fantasy X between Tidus and Yuna. Very emotional scene in the water.
That's nice. I'll give you one.
What? Steady on, mate.
Yeah, good man, quick. My favourite.
That's what they call me, Quick Adam.
Again, this is using the word favourite. Well, I've 2 that come to mind. One is at the end of Uncharted 2.
Oh yes, that would have been superb.
I fucking loved that one because
you googled it too, then did you? Good video by who was it? I can't remember it.
Yeah.
It's good video.
Because I don't know, it was just, I remember my heart feeling so warm and my pants, and it was just a wonderful moment to see Nathan Drake. We're not spoiling anything, whatever. Nathan Drake and Elena at the end of Uncharted 2 sharing a kiss. It was just nice, and it was such a natural kiss as well. It didn't. No, there was a bit of kind of Hollywood about it, but it wasn't too kind of mental. No, another one that I want to mention, and I will tell people, right, because I feel like BioShock, I will put Red Dead Redemption up there as you can't spoil this fucking game, right? So for you, if you haven't played, Dan, have you played Red Dead Redemption?
I haven't, but don't worry about spoiling it for me. I played bits of it and I got bored and left. So
you monster. But okay, right before I'll be a bit vague. Right before a certain character's death, there is a kiss that is just. it's not a snog. It's just kind of a kiss. It's a goodbye kiss where a character tells a couple of other characters to fuck off, basically, and kind of look after themselves, and I'll be fine. And it's just such a nice moment, you know. It's just kind of because they had such a Are you all right? Yeah. Are you?
I'm finished.
Are you you finished? Good.
Quick, Adam.
Yeah. Nailz, you can't think of any, no? You have a heart of stone, obviously.
I can't think of any, I'm afraid.
Did you watch that video of Uncharted 2's ending?
Yeah.
Because I watched that and it really made me want to play Uncharted 2 again. What a
Big
great
time.
game.
Oh, fantastic game. We have another question in from... I'm going to try... I apologise if I butcher your name, seriously.
His name's
Jasprit S. Marwaha. And he asked us, with all of these film trailers coming out, which one do you think will have the best video game to come from them?
Clearly Godzilla.
Is that...
I'm kidding.
I know. So. I'm just trying to think. Like, there are no games coming from movies.
Oh, there will
Star
be. They
Wars,
just probably there will be.
There's never been an Avengers game, though.
Well, you got Lego Marvel 2.0, Avengers Heroes, whatever.
Yeah, sort of. I don't know. Does anyone have any divine inspiration?
I mean, Star Wars, isn't it? It's Star Wars because the rest will be dreadful.
Yeah.
All right, that was a good talk. We have another question in here from Greg, at Greg Hale, follow him. He asked us, what's the opinion on the pre-order crisis? Adam,
yeah.
What is the pre-order crisis?
Just that pre-orders are down in the UK for the first time in a while, like quite significantly down.
Right, well, how is this a crisis?
It's a crisis for games manufacturers because they have to actually make good games for a change.
No, I don't see, like, looking at it from a consumer point of view, like, I don't see this as a crisis. I see this as people being a bit more clever. And
you should not pre-order games ever, ever. There's no reason to. And I was having a chat on Twitter today, and someone was like, "Well, yeah, but you've got to if you want to get the day one exclusive, blah blah blah, or if you want to get your amiibo. You know what? They don't. Just don't have them because they're doing it because you're pre-ordering. Like, stop." They will have to think of a way to actually earn your cash.
When was the last time you pre-ordered a game, Nailz?
If he says 5 minutes ago, when he pre-ordered
Star Wars, yeah.
I've had that on pre-order since it came up. I haven't. You're going to laugh at me. Assassin's Creed Unity.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I love the Assassin's Creed series.
Yeah, but why did you pre-order it?
Was it because of extra content, or was it fear of going into your local shop and for some reason Assassin's Creed Unity being sold out?
I think I saw it pretty cheap. I think that's
the
only reason. And I think I knew I couldn't get it on the day. Right. Oh, that's right. I was at an event. So, so I just kind of ordered it. I only put it like a week before. It wasn't like months and months kind of thing.
I sort of understand that mentality because I have done that. All right, yeah. When I actually think about it more, I have pre-ordered stuff when it's cheaper.
But I'd actually go one further and say not only should you not pre-order, but you should also not buy a game on the day it's released.
Yeah, I know.
Like, there's no evidence there's no evidence to counterpoint me there that you should definitely go and buy it on day one. Absolutely none.
I don't think anyone's disputing that. It's like if you want.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's not good enough. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's absolutely unacceptable. You're a beta tester.
Yeah, like you when you buy a product and it's not finished.
The people who go and buy Bloodborne today, Colm.
What's that?
People who go and buy Bloodborne today after listening to this podcast where the patch is out are getting a better game than the people who bought it the day it came out.
Yep.
And probably $5 cheaper.
We have. I'm going to lump these two questions together from Tugga and Jim Payne. Jim Payne has a Twitter handle of @Ted10Bensons, a man after my own heart.
I've been misreading that for weeks, and so it's Ted. Yeah,
I actually thought it was Ted as well, to be honest, and but it's not. So Tugga asked us, podcast question: Sony's Christmas lineup is looking oddly sparse. Will E3 reveal any games for you this year? Would be unusual, but good. And Jim said, What game would you like to be a surprise announcement at E3? So I'm going to lump the two of those together. Nailz, Christmas lineup looking sparse. Any E3 reveals for Sony, or do you?
There'll be nothing new. coming this year. They'll announce some new stuff, obviously, but it'll be for 2016 at least.
Yeah.
I reckon we'll get a date for No Man's Sky, and I reckon that's going to be lumped in the middle of that Christmas kind of period for Sony.
Yeah. Yeah. Adam, can you is there any surprise announcement at E3 that you can see or that you'd like, or in I suppose same kind of thing about Sony's Christmas lineup? I
think Sony will reveal or announce a game that is coming this year that we didn't know about, because I think they have to, because they have nothing to go up against.
But what have they got though? That's
what I mean. That's a surprise.
It would have to be something in an established.
Not necessarily. I mean, the Order wasn't new, was it?
No, but that also wasn't announced. That wasn't shown for the first time 6 months before it came out.
Less even.
I think it was less, because they announce it last E3 and it came out this February.
No, it got announced before the PlayStation. Okay, it was
sure?
It was the E3 before that.
It did. He's right. Like I would look, because I actually don't like the time between games getting announced and release. It's just fucking.
I think it will be Guerrilla's game, personally.
That's coming out this year.
I think it will be announced and released. That's been in development for quite some time.
Right.
I mean, you've got to remember, Killzone's been out for a year and a half.
Isn't that
I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I think that will be announced and released this year.
I'm pretty sure that was maybe rumoured, or someone had on their LinkedIn fucking CV or some sort of
Sony can't not have a game this Christmas. And No Man's Sky, isn't it? I'm sorry.
Like, I think that was a 2-man with myself and Nailz when we went through the games for the rest of the year, and we were talking about exclusives. It's like at the tail end of this year, Microsoft destroys Sony.
This year coming?
In terms of
Halo?
Halo, Forza, and Tomb Raider.
Oh, Tomb Raider, yeah. See, yeah. They do, which is why Sony must have a game, and as much as I want to play it and I'm intrigued by No Man's Sky, I don't think that's the game. It's that will be the same as releasing Bloodborne. A great game, but it's not it's not Uncharted. They have to have something that isn't. I mean, when Street Fighter 5 out,
but then there's going to be nothing that isn't an established.
Well, yeah,
franchise.
that's what I'm saying. When's Street Fighter 5 out? Because that's PS4 and PC only. And Street Fighter's still a big game. I mean, it's not Uncharted.
No, but it's established enough that, I mean, fucking people love Street Fighter. You know, we shouldn't put down the fucking legacy of Street Fighter.
Oh no, I love Street Fighter.
That would definitely be a massive game to go up against Microsoft.
I wouldn't be shocked to see Sony go heavy with the co-branding this year, co-marketing, like they're doing that with Battlefront.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them go more with that, because Microsoft may be slightly less interested. Yeah, but that's what I said. Microsoft may be less interested in Call of Duty this time because they got Halo. Maybe.
I'd heard rumours, or saw a rumour the other day, that Sony might have nicked COD. Now,
I'd be very surprised.
I'd be very surprised at that.
But we've also got Rock Band and Guitar Hero this year still, and don't be surprised to see one of those appear on a E3 stage.
Yeah.
I would say don't be surprised at all to see one. In fact, I would be go so far as to say don't be surprised to see one of them on one stage and the other on the other stage.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, in terms of, I think Sony have to announce a game that's coming this year. I think they have to. There's no question whether that is a good. God of War could have been in development for a long time.
It could be, and they're like.
I think it'll be Uncharted collection personally, but there you go.
If they were able to wrangle, say, a Fallout exclusive, well, you see, I mean, Bethesda has their own fucking thing anyway.
No chance that's an exclusive.
But would you have said Tomb Raider would have been an exclusive?
I'd say there was more chance of Tomb Raider being an exclusive just due to the kind of game it is. Sony don't need it to be an exclusive, but Fallout, no chance. Bethesda aren't going to limit themselves, and it will come to PC. There's no chance. There is no chance. It's an impossibility that Fallout won't come to PC, if it even exists. But Dishonored 2 is probably going to be announced as well, I think.
You get into the whole console exclusivity thing, and kind of all that kind of bullshit. But yeah,
Dishonored 2 could be a PS4 exclusive. In the same way that Tomb Raider's an Xbox exclusive,
perhaps,
not Fallout. And I think that Xbox don't need to. I mean, I think they have to show Crackdown and Gears in action, gameplay. You know, like a 5 to 10 minute.
Gears big time. But I don't think a a hype trailer for Gears, and Gears is going to cut it.
Way too late for that.
They need to be hype trailer, then whoever walks out on stage with a controller, and you are seeing Gears in action.
But Gears has only been a year, hasn't it?
Huh?
Well, Gears only just... When they announced Gears, they hadn't started working on it yet.
Yeah.
So they said. Well,
that's because Black Tusk was working on something else which got scrapped.
Yeah. I mean, Alan, you've got to remember Alan Wake. Quantum Break is going to be shown at E3, but that's already slipped.
That's been delayed, yeah.
To me, it boils down to Sony have to show. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Uncharted Collection is not only announced, but is coming this Christmas. With an I don't know if they announced Uncharted 4's new release date, because I could see that being May next year.
Don't think they have, but we could probably we've gone long enough. We have to
get speculation.
We have to get to our last question.
Knack 2, Colm.
From there's a system seller, Ryan Sandry, good old Sandra. He asked us. Well, he asked you specifically, Adam. He said, "Would you rather play Bloodborne only using your feet, or try and solve a Rubik's cube using a blindfold?"
Well, let Dan answer that.
Don't know. Probably Rubik's Cube with a blindfold. Because I think you wouldn't be able to control Bloodborne with your feet.
That's, valid point. Valid point.
Who are these people who complete the Souls games with, like, peripheral controllers?
See, that to me has got out of hand now. Like, someone did it once and it was kind of impressive, and now you get the feeling the game's come out and he, like, quickly, let's see if I can do it. It's like, it's not... It's still, fascinating that they bother, but Rubik's Cube for me. But.
Yeah, without doubt, because at least you have.
Colm, sorry, I have to go back.
Yes.
PlayStation 4, they announced Catherine 2 exclusive to PS4.
Oh yes.
And also, let's not forget that Atlas have got Persona 5 still.
Fucking Catherine 2, Adam Cook, you pulled that out of your hole. Well done. I would fucking love a Catherine 2. Of course, the one thing that we really want is fucking Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, but none of us want to say it because.
Well, I think it's that's the elephant in the room, along with Last Guardian, isn't it?
Yeah. If they came out and said, "Look, here's the Last Guardian,"
it's a thing.
It's.
I tell you what, I'm a listener, and here's a listener question for you two, because you're the regulars, aren't you? Do you think that there's any in fact, what % chance do you think, Dan first, that the Last Guardian will appear at E3? What % chance?
0.
6.
So Colm's the optimist, Dan's the realist.
Yeah. So that just about does it for this week's episode of the Gods of Geek podcast. Of course, as we always do, we ask you to rate and review us on iTunes. Give us 5 stars, please, and tell us, tweet about us on Facebook, and tell your friends and shit like that, because spread the word. Don't let us be your little secret. Okay, thank you. You can follow us all on Twitter as well. You can follow Nailz on Twitter at MacShanks. You can follow Adam on Twitter at GBSF, and you can follow me on Twitter at Colm_Hearn. And of course, our God, who just so happens to be a geek, you can follow them on Twitter as well at GodIsGeek, and on Facebook, facebook.com/GodIsGeek, and youtube.com/GodIsGeek, and GodIsGeek.com itself for all of your news, reviews, podcasts, videos, esports, fucking shit, stuff. Yeah, all these things. Alright, there's loads of things, so go there. Thank you very much.
Okay, before you close, can I say something?
You can.
I'd just like to, and I think I speak for Dan, I'd say, Colm, we're glad to have you back, mate. It's good that you arrived home safely to a house that's not been burgled, and we are I'm so glad to have you back. Good to have you back, mate.
Now, I'm waiting for the punchline. Are you being sincere?
Yep. I know it's rare. It's good to have you back, mate.
Thank you. So yeah, this is the part where we say farewell. Say goodbye, Adam.
Goodbye, Adam.
Say goodbye, Nailz.
See you later.
Say goodbye, Colm, Slán, go fóil. You seriously being sincere?
Yep. It's Dan. Does Dan? Can I speak? Does I speak for Dan?
Yeah,
why not?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Fucking hell.
Are we still recording, or are we stopped?
We can go back to being real people now, and not the acting.